Hello and welcome to Off-Season Outlook. In this episode, we're going to be breaking down what the Bills need to do with their first round pick to right the ship, please the fan base, get Josh Allen rejuvenated because he sure looked defeated in that post-game press conference of the divisional round. Brandon Beane gets promoted. Sean McDermott gets fired. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Sean McDermott coached his ass off in the playoffs with an undermanned roster. They beat, in my opinion, the best team in the AFC, the Jaguars, in Jacksonville. And then they go down and they lose a heartbreaker in Denver. You know one of the reasons why they lost to Denver in a heartbreaker? And yes, one of the reasons is because Brandon Cooks was down with possession of the ball. That was a terrible call. But you got to take a bird's eye view of that play. Why is Brandon Cooks the number one target for Josh Allen on this Bills roster? Josh Allen is in his prime. He won MVP last season. He is a franchise quarterback. The Bills may never have a quarterback like Josh Allen again. He's a borderline superhero on the field, and his number one target is Brandon Cooks. Cut from the Saints and signed mid-season. He's on about his 8th team. He's old. He's small. And he was all Josh Allen had to push the ball downfield towards. Khalil Shakir is a slot receiver. And he's serviceable, don't get me wrong. They lock him in 4 years, $53 million. He is serviceable, but he doesn't stretch the field. He doesn't take the top off defenses. Dalton Kincaid. I like him. He's a great threat. They like to line him up in the slot. He's injured a lot. He's an integral part of the offense. But they need a contested catch deep threat receiver. They thought they had it at pick 33 last year with Keon Coleman. You know what the problem with Keon Coleman is? Besides the ridiculous pregame outfits, the benching, the character issues. He runs a 4.6. 4.6 40. You can't take the top off NFL level defenses. You can't get to that second level. You can't take away their 2-quarter safeties with a 4.6 40. The NFL has too much talent. Pat Surtain looks at a 4.6 receiver and laughs. Sure, he had a touchdown in that game. What did he do the rest of the season? Nothing. He's too slow. He's too slow. Obviously, the character issues are just the cherry on top. I don't want Keon Coleman as an integral part of my offense if I'm Josh Allen, if I'm the Bills. I don't care how many hot mic moments he has that go viral on Twitter. Yeah, he's a funny guy. He's got a good sense of humor. I don't want him on my roster. Don't want him. If I'm Brandon Beane, I'm looking at this disgruntled fan base. I'm looking at my defeated quarterback. And all I'm thinking is I need to give this offense an injection of speed and talent. Denzel Boston is unequivocally a first-round talent wide receiver. 88.2 PFF rating on the season. 19 touchdowns in his last 2 years with Washington. He's been awesome. Absolutely awesome. He's got all the physical tools. Sure, you could knock him for his 26 yards against Ohio State, no tuds. 25 yards against Oregon, no tuds. Those are 2 top defenses. I don't knock him for it. He's got all the physical skills. He gets great separation. He can run an entire route tree. The Bills are looking at hiring an offensive coach. The 3 names that keep on resurfacing for them, Davis Webb, Dable, promoting Joe Brady, they're all Josh Allen guys. They're also all offensive guys. The offense cannot be carried by Josh Allen and James Cook deep into the playoffs. I don't know how many heartbreaking losses at Mile High or Arrowhead it's going to take to get that into newly promoted Brandon Beane's head. But I sure hope he has it now. Because if Denzel Boston is there, they got to take him. You put him up against Jordan Tyson, who's mocked 5th to the Giants, and you know they're going to take a wide receiver because they believe in Jackson Dart. It's almost as if the New York Giants have more belief in Jackson Dart than the Bills do in Josh Allen. Reigning MVP. Reigning MVP. Face of Buffalo, Josh Allen. They haven't gotten him as a weapon. You see how much teams like the Bears pour into Caleb Williams, and you see the fruits that bears in real time. They give him DJ Moore. They draft Rome Odunze, Loveland, Luther Burden, who turns out he was a first-round talent that slipped. Those are 4 first-round pick weapons that Caleb Williams has to throw to. And guess what? He looked like Aaron Rodgers out there this playoffs. And the team was always in it. No matter how down they got, they were always in it. Why? Because they put the talent on the field. That is what the NFL comes down to. How much talent do you have on the field? You're going man versus man with the other team. You're lining up. Brandon Cooks, Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel. It's not a wide receiver group that's going to bring you deep into the playoffs. Flat out. Brandon Beane failed this season to make a deadline trade to get a wide receiver. He didn't get Rashid Shaheed. You see what he's doing for Seattle. Playmaker. You see how Jacoby Myers reinvigorated that Jaguars offense. You see how much he elevated Trevor Lawrence. Brandon Beane couldn't bring anybody in. And don't think it's going to happen this offseason. Because it won't. The Bills have the least amount of cap maneuverability in the league. They have $3 million in available cap space that puts them at 31st in the NFL. No big free agent wide receiver is coming to Buffalo. Juwan Jennings, he's asking for $20 million. Romeo Doubs, Wan'Dale Robinson, they're in the 12 to 15 range. There is not a single wide receiver out there that they can afford. They need to go to it in the draft. Denzel Boston, 6'4", 209. Fast, physical. If he runs a 4.3, my worry is he won't be there at pick 26. You got the Steelers ahead. They could be looking at a weapon if they don't go for Ty Simpson. You got the Eagles at 23. With all the questions they have surrounding A.J. Brown and if they're parting with him. The Bills need to be aggressive in this draft. No more trading back with AFC rivals like the Chiefs. They need to put the foot on the gas and show this fan base, Terry Pagula, show this fan base you are committed to getting Josh Allen the best supporting cast as possible for a deep playoff run. That's the least you could do. It's the least he and Brandon Beane could do. You look at some glaring holes on the defense, and yes, it is there. I don't like Tre'Davious White as a starting cornerback. I know he really came on in the second half of the season and really played above his standard at this point on his third ACL. But listen, after Avion Terrell in this draft class, there are not a lot of great DBs at this position, and I don't want to reach on one. I'm going to trust the process with Maxwell Harrison, 64.3 at PFF rating. He was injured towards the end of the season. I'm trusting his development. Christian Benford, I really like. He's physical. Cole Bishop, I really like. What worries me is that Brandon Beane is fully empowered, and I know he drafts defense. He does not draft offense. Last year's draft, first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks went defense, and then he took a tight end when he already had Dawson and Kincaid. Brandon Beane getting promoted after very questionable roster construction makes me think that he's going to go back to his roots, maybe take a defender. Like I said, I don't think that's the play here. If he does, I think you go TJ Parker out of Clemson. Had 12 sacks in his 24 season campaign, was mocked in the top 3 before downright regressing this year, only 6 sacks. Now he's falling to the bottom of the first round in most mocks. Joey Bosa is not a long-term option at edge rusher. He really came on strong at the start of the season, but then really declined. Greg Rousseau has been awesome. Deion Walker, he's been a steal. Ed Oliver, hopefully they get him for a full healthy season next year. But listen, they need to draft their best available talent right now. Talent and speed with Josh Allen in mind. It's Denzel Boston. You can address the declining linebacker room later in the draft. Okay, I really like Harold Perkins. He fell like a lead balloon in mock drafts from 2 years ago to now. I'm pretty sure he was mocked in the top 5 in very early mocks. Wore number 7 for LSU. They could probably get him in the 3rd round at this point. Deontay Lawson misses a lot of tackles, but man, those physical traits you can't teach out of Alabama. They could easily snag him in the 2nd round. You know who they can't snag in the 2nd round? Denzel Boston. Premier talent. Premier wide receiver talent, which is incredibly important in the NFL today. I hope they pull the trigger. I hope they get Josh Allen his hope. And I hope Brandon Beane and Terry Pegula finally right the ship. This has been Offseason Outlook. That's where the Bills need to go with their 1st round pick. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you guys next time.